Alright, it looks like we are good to go. Alright, let's get this started, everyone. Alright everyone, so first off, welcome back to the stream. First off, we have the winner today. It's going to be Robin Feraldo. Congratulations. The Bitcoin has already been sent to you. Again, guys, to participate in this giveaway, all you have to do is comment on my video about one of the topics, something you like, something you didn't like, something you agree with, something you don't agree with, and with your BTC address, and you'll be entered into the free giveaway every single week for about $10. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the content. All right, moving on to the crypto portfolio. All right, so far, some things are going up. This week we have USD coin, some Hive, as well as some CRO MCO, always rising a little bit every single week. Progress on CRO and MCO this week, focusing on that, trying to level up to the second level card so I can unlock some larger savings. Bitcoin still going up, everything is good there. Still around $10 a day. Again, that's steadily climbing, just takes time to build. And the breakdown of where I keep everything in order to make my side income of around $300 a month. Again, links to all the platforms that I use in the description below. I also have videos explaining all of them. However, each quarter I should be going through them and explaining them once again. On my current hierarchy right now, the money tree, is I tend to have these platforms, that's Free Bitcoin, BlockFi, Crypto.com, and Nexo for various purposes as labeled here. And I also have my secure storage and the ability to cash out. I hope you all paid your taxes. It is tax season right now. On the 15th they were due. I hope you started or finished that process on that day. But the real reason we're here to talk are scams. All right, so everyone, today I'm going to talk about scams because there have been a ton of scams in the space, and as we approach this new uptrend in Bitcoin post-halving, it's very important to be aware of them and what they are and how they can harm you and how to spot them. So let's move on and go ahead and do that. So first off, I'll start with a scam that I was involved in, BitConnect, and what happened to me in that scam. BitConnect was a clear scam. There are a bunch of criteria on how to identify a scam, but essentially Bitcoin was a massive Ponzi scheme that had a cryptocurrency behind it. It was centralized, and they took money at several different steps from people, and they paid that out to the earlier investors. So the dividends on BitConnect happened to be around, I think it was 1% a day or higher if you invested more. With BitConnect, I started in 2017, late to that, like September, and I was able to start making around $40 to $60 to $100 a day, depending on how that went, because they had kind of a variable system. At the time, it was amazing. It was fun. I was able to pay off lots of some medical bills, debt, and various other things, and just go have fun with it. When I got in, I knew it was a scam, but I just wanted to see if I could make it last a while. When I started making 60 to 100 days, that was amazing. I was starting to cash out. I actually made it past the point of my initial investment and kept going. The day that it actually all collapsed, I was actually a juror and could not pay attention to the actual platform to draw my money. What they essentially did was they took people's Bitcoin and gave them out the BitConnect coin, which are two separate coins. When they did that, the last day of the scam, what they did is they just cashed out everybody's BitConnect and just put it all on the platform. So whatever you had, it was cashed out in BitConnect, and the value of the coin went down dramatically because people started cashing out. At the time, my BitConnect was worth $3,000. Now I think it's worth like $1 or something like that. The good news is I made my initial investment back, so I didn't actually lose any money. A lot of people did. People put their houses into BitConnect, lost millions, if not more, if not a little bit less, in that scam. So that's one reason we're going to talk about scams today. How to identify a scam? Um, the basic way to do it is they generally have no contact information. If you try to look for where they exist, they don't exist anywhere. So they don't have any sort of registration, or if they do, it's going to be some sort of like weird registration that you can get some registration in the UK without actually really having a company, I believe. And you can just kind of put that out on the website and try to fool people. They generally have no backing, no insurance, no emergency plan, like a lot of the other platforms that I talk about. They have no customer service or sketchy customer service, or they hire out people who aren't actually in the organization to be their customer service. They often have misspelled social media or website names. By the way, a lot of these will overlap with like hacker methods of getting information and phishing you, and you'll see that in a little bit. They'll send you random texts with information that you give them with like a link towards something, like, hey, we want to deliver a package, click this link. Maybe it's to hack your phone so they can get even more of your information or money or whatever. This goes beyond crypto. They take at every step of the process. So with BitConnect, for example, they took it when you deposited, they took it when you converted into BitConnect, they took it when you converted out of BitConnect, and they took when you took off the platform, when you tried to withdraw from the platform. So these are 4 or 5 ways they were to get siphoned off money to other people. They ask for too much information. So, for example, if they ask for your private key or your social security number, or they ask about, like, unfortunately we have Know Your Customer now, so you have to give them your address and your ID at this point on reputable services. But we're talking about services that have no mark of authenticity, but they're asking for like your social security number or like your bank account number or something weird like that. Stolen media, which I'll show you in just a second. They'll use interviews with famous people, Elon Musk, Vitalik Buterin, Bill Gates, other people like that, in order to make it seem authentic. They'll have a bunch of bad reviews in trusted, knowledgeable places. You can't withdraw your funds. That's another thing. So you can't withdraw your funds, and they're just stuck there. That gave rise to the notch your coins, not your keys. So if you're not holding your coins, you're always at risk for someone just taking them, and there's nothing you can do. They have terrible communication and no outreach. So they just have no... So things happen on the platform, and they don't give you any information, ever, through any venue. They have wild and outlandish, unreasonable guarantees, like, we'll double your money if you give us such and such and such. Sky-high interest rates. So if you're making 1% a day, that is super crazy. If you're making 360% a year, that's almost impossible unless you are the head of the venture in some way. They have events with no leaders. So BitConnect used to hold these lavish parties on yachts and boats. And there would be keynote speakers. There would be people who were affiliated with high levels in the platform, but they weren't actually in the inner circle of whatever was going on. Those people never revealed themselves on purpose because it's a scam. They have no ability to explain their profit model. So with a lot of the altcoins in the space, it's that way. They have no real way to explain how they're going to make money. Many companies run this way without being in crypto. Some video game companies run this way. They have no way to explain their model. And again, in the case of BitConnect, they had a trading bot which no one could see that apparently was making so much profit for everybody that it was profit sharing to everybody on the platform. And that's what the dividend was for 1% a day. If they have no safety features, no 2FA, no DDoS protection, things like that. If they have a half-baked white paper, where they try to explain it, but it's kind of whatever, it's kind of half. They just put something out there so it looks like something's there. If they have actively terrible management, or people with a history of scamming people in other spheres, which has happened before. There are people who go from scam to scam to scam to scam to scam to scam, but they're never caught. For whatever reason, they slip past authorities. typical hacking and phishing. So if they get your information and again they send you a message or an email with your information, that's just a way to try and hack you. Misused or misguided terminology, so they don't actually understand the space, but they'll use things that buzzwords that they've heard before to try and make it seem like they're legitimate. And lastly, poor language or grammar. So maybe English isn't their first language, but they're trying to scam English speakers. This happens all the time. So let's move on after this huge exhaustive list and go on to the next part. Let's talk about the interest. One of the most dead giveaways of a scam is the amount of return you're going to get. So obviously, doubling your money, unless you're trading it actively or you have some plan that involves your effort, probably isn't going to happen. Most of the platforms, which I'll show on the next slide from my previous video, will give you somewhere between 1 and at the extreme high end of all investments I've ever seen ever, 36% a year. That's without being a commodity that goes up and down, right? Most scams give you over 30% a year in some way or form. Just something crazy, like outlandish, 50%, 100%, in a short span of time. It's with some weird kind of false guarantee. Again, with these higher interest rates, you're going to get maybe 1 to 2% a month at best, and fractions of a percent if it compounds daily, right? The fact that it even calculates in days might be a giveaway, especially if it's 1% a day, which is 360% a year. That's crazy. Or 30+% per month. It just a massively short time span. The best I can do right now is about $1 a day for $2,000 or so input. For a scam, they would give you $1 a day for every 100. So if you put $3,000 in, you would make $100 a day. That's pretty intense for some scams. Again, just to kind of give you an idea, at these various interest rates, this is from the previous video as well, you can go back and watch it if you'd like, the amount you put in goes down with the higher yearly interest rate. But the highest I've ever seen in the crypto space is 18%. So here we're going to actually look at one of the scams that you may see. This is a typical one you'll find on YouTube recently. This is about doubling your money. So in this case, where can I begin? So Vitalik Buterin has graciously decided to give a massive 10,000 Ethereum away. Is it possible? A very low percentage possible? Maybe. So let's go on. Let's just look at the interview. In this video that I was watching, the interview is just an interview with him. It has nothing to do with a giveaway. It's just an interview. So this whole thing from the start has nothing to do with the video. So it has to be, there's a problem there already. Ethereum halving. Ethereum doesn't halve. It gets locked up, yes, but there's no halving. So the fact that they even use the buzzword halving in this case means it's clearly a scam. A massive return. If you give 5 ETH, you'll receive 10. That's doubling what you're giving them. That makes no sense. No one's going to do that. And it's a one-way trip. Once you give it to them, that's it. Here at the bottom, you have an exclamation point in front of a sentence. That could be indicative of someone who either just didn't take enough time to do it, doesn't speak English well, or maybe speaks another language where the exclamation is in front of the sentence. These are all different little ways you can tell that this is a problem. And this is all over YouTube right now, in front of legitimate people giving legitimate news. If you see this, disregard it. It's just a form of sleazy marketing to get you to send them cash. One recently the other day scored $100,000 in crypto from people just sending small amounts. $100,000. Oftentimes with this specific one, they will make it go to private so that they don't get blocked by YouTube. It might go down quickly, or they'll make it private. Anyway, scams are intense right now. It's the Wild West. Once you send your crypto to someone, it's almost impossible to get it back, because that's what the ledger does. It sends it forward, and that's it. It's marked, and now it's theirs. You gave them your coins, their keys. It's that simple. That's why it's very important to educate people on how not to lose their money. All right. in crypto news. Just a small amount here. Bitcoin's up very slightly right now. Ethereum is slightly down. Um, it's been said that Chainlink has gone down a lot. Apparently, the article that was written about Chainlink um, was sponsored by Nexo, but I'm not sure. We'll find out in the near future. They haven't, I believe, acknowledged it, but I could be behind the times. We all know Ethereum has been postponed. Binance Coin, for some reason, going down, even though they've burned a bunch of it. Maybe people are selling post-burning. Who knows? So now there's a smaller supply of Binance Coin at the moment. PayPal still on track to buy and sell Bitcoin, which is exciting. MasterCard jumping into the game, increasing their crypto program. There's just a lot going on right now in the crypto space. It's really exciting. I haven't seen too much movement in XRP. Doge has been settling. Cardano going down slightly. But again, Bitcoin, the old warhorse, still going strong at the moment. Anyway, guys, that's the show for this week. I'll be back next week with a new topic. I have some exciting things planned. And remember to like and subscribe, please, if you like the content. If you agree, disagree, have something you want to add to what I said, or want to correct me, that's fine. Be safe out there. It's pretty crazy right now. And I'll see you all next week.